please. Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon for the panelists here, too, and all of you in the audience. I'd like to thank Active Digital because it's the third year in a row that I'm the moderator for this panel. Every year we bring a new subject, and this year, of course, we're going to talk about AI. This is a subject that I'm pretty sure is on everyone's agenda. And if it's not, there's something wrong with you, right? Everyone is only talking about AI. Pretty much all the different panels are talking about AI in a way. And the idea is to bring a different point of view about this technology, the applications, the practice. We know that the financial sector is quite advanced technologically. And we have heard from the different panels about the big banks, their perspectives. And we have banks here in this panel too discussing about this subject. But there's also another challenge that is the cherry on top, that is to actually bring aggregate value to the business. And what comes next? So Fred, I want to start with you to bring a macro point of view to the market. What have you been seeing in this holistic manner that you act in the financial market, and you do have a strong presence in the financial market? What have you seen that is not really any smoke screen? What has been actually being added to the business? Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. So when it comes to artificial intelligence in the financial sector, we have been following the different financial institutions in two different moments. The first, the AI, and now we call it traditional. The predictive AI with statistic numbers, AI, and machine learning. There's also been for quite a while the financial institutions incorporated in different credit and risk areas. The fraud prevention is still building a lot of value and profit and scale, so it's consolidated. Now the Gen AI, even though it's on everyone else's minds, constantly being talked about every day, this is only a reality for the past 3 years. So we're still getting to know this technology. In 2023, it's when we found out about this for the market as a whole. Last year, we started seeing the first pilots at the institutions, and now in 2025, it's gaining more traction. The first use cases were aimed toward the internal aspect of the organizations, for internal processes, seeking for efficiency, applying some of the co-pilots, some AI assistances, in some cases even some AI agents from the HR department, from legal areas, compliance areas, all, and technology for developing software, all of that for internal processes for those companies. And we have been seeing a lot of productivity gain on the companies. We also, when it comes to customer support, it was the natural movement from the chatbots. It's only adding another layer of intelligence with Gen AI, but still very cautiously, because we're talking about interaction with the customer, right? So we're trying to find ways to just support the human interactions. And what have we seen in a more concrete manner, and I feel is the most differential aspect of this technology, is AI within the customer's journey, thinking at the customization, hyper customization of that experience. And in digital age, we have followed a project from a bank that from the open finance data and using the data from the bank itself, we were able to use Gen AI to analyze all this data, create insights on the behavior of the customer, not only from the institution that he had, but also using open finance, and customize offers, products, and messages, everything customized for the customer. So it was both under the engagement, and so improved the engagement because the customer could see that he was directly being, that the communication was made for him, and also it was better compared to all the established campaigns that we have for the bank. So Gen AI is definitely adding more value, real value, because that will turn to be a real business value for the financial products that we have. Perfect. And let's start with you, Vasco, as well. In terms of practices, what are you doing with AI in BMG? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. We have been using it it a lot. And let me actually take a few steps back, because we started with an issue, with a problem. Because every single area started to use AI in a sort of deorganized manner, and we understood that we needed to place a governance on that, because leaving things like that loose didn't make sense. So we established governance, we established an area to support all the initiatives from the different business areas, and started to work together. Not only were we monitoring the different areas and understanding what was being happening, we wanted to bring people that were able to speed this process as well on board. And we started seeing good results. One of the examples of results that we have using GenAI is, for example, like Fred just mentioned, in the legal department, we have over 70% of operational items effective gain in using GenAI. In the ombudsman areas, we are now doing a perspective of 75%. We're seeing a 75% perspective in improvement of the overall process in terms of value. So I feel like if the process is well done, if the areas supports the users, we use AI as means, not as an end, there's definitely a lot of business opportunities for us to work with and effectively deliver value. We have seen gain in customer support in over 30%. So pretty much all the different areas can definitely work with AI. I just mentioned ombudsman, legal. People think that these are areas that might be harder to have AI participating of it, but these are the areas that started, and now pretty much all the different areas in the bank are doing this, guaranteeing the cybersecurity behind it, the responsible use of the data behind it. So we continue to work within regulation, because we see that it's gaining track, right? But we need to make sure that we take care of the data very carefully. So that's a little bit of what we're doing at BMG. Right, we always think about customer support, but that's a good example of how different business areas have been using it. There's so many possibilities. Yeah, in customer support, we used it, and we already had a very digitalized customer support, around 85% with a 78% NPS. And by using AI, we were able to reduce 7% the time of waiting in lines. So you can definitely use in all different areas. It's just a matter of how and when you want to use it. And Felipe, how are you guys using it at BTG? Good afternoon, Deborah. Good afternoon for everyone here at the panel. So yeah, AI is urgent and important. We know that everybody's seeing this as the big thing in the last few years. But BTG Pactual has always been data-driven. We were born with that DNA. We have the characteristics. We always had it. And AI enables us to have more and more the creation of different models, like Fred just said, the AI vintage, the more traditional AI. And now with the creation of open finance and open insurance, this will allow us to create more and more models to add more value to the customer. We see a barrier related to the big amount of data that we have, and also when it comes to the quality of that data is also a huge challenge for everyone that works with AI, I'm sure. Now, in terms of productivity, we are using a large scale in technology for development. In some areas, it represents already 30% of operational efficiency, which is a very relevant number for us, and also focusing on products for the final customer. Recently, by the way, we were acknowledged. We were awarded by Global Finance from the investor in 2025 because of our virtual assistant from WhatsApp. It's basically a transactional bank that is rolling and functioning on WhatsApp, and this, of course, comes from fostering GenAI and its usages. So it needs to be accepted by the people, it needs to be trusted by the people, and we were able to recently release, among others, this product. And they're able to pay bills through taking pictures for QR codes. So people want financial services, not only necessarily to deal with the bank all the time. And GenAI is bringing this possibility, not only this old cliche of customer support, like Fred said, delay layers on top of the chatbot are important, but actually adding value and supporting the customer needs is truly what is most important about Gen AI. Yeah, and we have even vintage AI, like you said, we are a step ahead already. So, Braga, by the way, you have been exploring AI a lot at GetNet. So, how are you seeing AI? How are you using it so far? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here, by the way. So, when it comes to GetNet, I think it's important to understand that GetNet was created as a point of sale, and now it's positioned as a global fintech. So, GetNet has its mission how to add value in terms of technology for all the different businesses of GetNet now in 5 countries in Latin America, and Spain and Portugal, and hopefully we'll be working with 3 more countries this year. So, to be able to get to this volume of adding value that is so robust in our ecosystem, we need to be able to drive our technology. We have been working with AI ever since the more traditional models. Obviously, most apply to the protective turn model, in which we're able to improve some of their indexes in 15–20%, depending on the country. In Mexico, we have a very specialized model for it. In Brazil, have a model constructing a more sophisticated model. We have the use of artificial intelligence when it comes to how do we avoid chargeback that costs us so much for our businesses, all the different operational subjects. But the biggest edge that we have was to build our own artificial intelligence. We decided to do that. We began, like everyone else, facing a huge challenge when it comes to security. So, for example, within Santander Group, we obviously cannot expose that data externally. That's very complex. So what do? We separated a group of technicians and we built our own artificial intelligence in which we're able to use the LLM model to get the data from outside. We process it in our company. It remains at an internal knowledge base and is agnostically to our LLM model. And with that, we're able to reduce a lot the cost of AI to a fraction of the cost of what would be the licensing cost for the model. Now, the next step that we're doing is scaling it, making sure that the use of artificial intelligence is part of the entire journey, or the entire journey of a information technology professional. We, for example, were just part of the innovation challenge in which our ecosystem of professionals submitted ideas on how to innovate on our business by using the context of our globalization, the different countries that we act on, how do we are able to improve our value, and we did that. And it's astonishing to see that over 70% of what was submitted was built on top of AI, especially AI that we built in our own companies. So today we have been working a lot in training, capacitating people to make sure that the ecosystem that is globally made of around 700 professionals, that we have the mindset of AI first. So anything that a professional is doing in his everyday life, that he thinks first on using AI to do it. If it's not possible, he can look for a different path. I feel like these are some of the numbers. Obviously, this has been creating a lot of productivity. You can see the numbers that are between 25 and 30% of productivity in the cycle of adding values with our technology as well. We are reducing a very operational load around 50%. So, yeah, artificial intelligence is definitely gaining a lot of traction within our company. And obviously, we're hopefully trying to scale even more, considering the next step by using AI agents. How can we truly use AI agents to build on top of a very complex ecosystem of agents? Because now there's not a vision of an agent that solves everything, all the different issues that we have. We need to precisely choose every single one and have a good governance and curatorship behind to make sure that we choose the best AI possible, considering the context of how we deliver our businesses.
Back to you, Felipe. What about your challenge in the AI projects? People, technology, management, board society. Is everything mixed and matched? What do you think about it? I believe 10 out of 10 CEOs have top of mind AI. And of course, the demand on results is very big. But we never forget the clients demand that They demand faster responses, faster interface, more usability with more assertivity, of course. Of course, with this new hype coming up for artificial intelligence, we also have a big challenge to find professionals. Everybody experienced this. Vasco mentioned in a very assertive way technology governance. We found a model at FEBRABAN on governance and how to manage this area. It's not a tool, it's not development, AI is not a product, it's everything together, building it up. So this governance is not trivial. But we are doing well, we are on track on this sense. Another aspect that is also interesting, it's an initiative that we had, building up a training session for executives within ENG, a tech institute. Our executives perform training sessions, some groups, but the biggest objective is to build this mindset on thesis, innovation based on artificial intelligence. It changes the way we think, it changes the paradigm on what we are used to developing products. This initiative is fruitful and we surely is going to expand this to other areas and people, always providing training sessions, changing the mindset and guided by AI first, as he said. Perfect. Vasco, you commented about artificial intelligence uses, and now we have the AI generative for 3 years. What has changed? I love his expression that was vintage AI, now we have the new AI, this newborn that is not growing, and AI generative. Lots of things have changed, accelerating all this process that we experience accelerated now. So we are experiencing one of the most disruptive moments in the history. AI is everywhere. Changes in the bank. The decisions are faster, more assertive. We have seen the operation that is more intelligent. AI first, we think in a different way in all the operational process, how we place AI first, and if possible, how we meet it all. And also, actual gains on effectiveness. We had efficiency processes, but we see using the agents and generative AI, we see better results. And I think if we have governance and process, things work well. And now we have been working on clients' experience. How can we have? We have this audience that is 50 plus. This audience is digital, but on WhatsApp. They have a different profile, helping us to understand their behavior better so we can meet their demands in a more intelligent way. So all the processes are being accelerated and things will change ahead of us. Back to you, Braga. You mentioned this evolution. You are a tech company and you also work in the retail as well. How is your work specifically with AI? Because everything is connected, banks, retailing, to take a differential to the market. Excellent question. It's important to bring this concept of a strategic moment. We accelerate an important drive to us, that is growth. Growth is key in our business. And how can we grow a business that we want to leave the traditional model that we know? So we launched an important initiative called Single Eight Point. What is the single entry point? It's a single connection. The client connects once, operates in all the countries that we are present. The experience is similar. And then the client can extract the valor of negotiating once, conciliations, cross countries, cross-border payment processes, distributing all the differentiations, the products. It's the way we offer the client different payment methods. This we seek differentials comparing to artificial intelligent agents. Payment industry has a strong concept of embedded payments. Payments that has no friction, embedded lending. How can I offer capital to this client operating with me? I know him, I know his performance on payment methods, and we are connecting more and more in an ecosystem where payment will happen directing or activated by an agent. It's not that payment that we are used to where the customer use a credit card or click on a button and the payment journey is over. No, this will happen totally invisibly. And this is going to be very strong when we use agents. And we need to use our strategy connecting clients, and we need to manage payments activated using agents. So we need agents to manage agents. That's our obsession. How can we do it? And our value delivery that is already very strong, expanding our business, connecting, offering payment methods for global clients, and we are differentiating ourselves, bringing this capacity in. This is our obsession from this point on. That's great. Fred, you have an holistic point of view of projects, and we mentioned AI generative, the next step of the AI agents. What do you recommend for companies in this process? And what are the classic mistakes to be prevented in this new step of AI? Perfect. As it is a technology that is new, generative AI, we need to think about innovation. The first recommendation is to accelerate the experiments in different cases used so you can learn fast. And you make your mistakes faster as well, of course, in some areas. And use this technology. This time with AI, this technology could become more than innovation. It is a pre-requirement for the competitive element. In addition to the experiment, we also need, as he said, to observe the scale. To scale, we need structure. We need to accelerate the roadmaps of digital foundations. The digital transformation started with a robust infrastructure in the cloud, computing power that AI requires, maturity on data, as he commented so well, to become a data-driven company. This is a step before a company that is AI-driven. And Vasco, the governance, he mentioned so well. Without governance for data and the AI initiatives to bring capacity, scale with safety, with ethics, measurement the returns that you capture, we are not going to have the capacity to accelerate the scale when it's necessary. In a short period of time, we are going to see it. My recommendation is never lose the structure and apply fast in the core processes of our business, not only in the peripheral areas. Look what the company does it best. I place AI to have the competitive advantage. That's great. And every day we see a new artificial intelligence, a new piece of technology, and we are going to have this exercise talking about the future, how hard it is in a regulated and critical sector. But Vasco, I'd like to hear from you. Start this round of questions with you. What do you think that you will bring value with AI, especially in your business? It's an exercise of futurology. Things are moving so fast, very hard to understand it all. But we do believe that using AI as an enabler of new businesses for the business areas, a culture that is very strong on people, understanding all the opportunities, taking good care of people, training them so they understand this is a benefit for the company. There is a risk, people understand that it is a threat for their profession, but if they are well trained and they understand the benefit is for everybody, there is potential. It doesn't matter the pathway we follow in the market. This changes all the time. But if we are ready, we know how to use it for any type of challenge, we are having a successful avenue ahead of us. No, I'm not going to point to a specific base and use it as a guideline. No, we have used as a means to enable any business area. Because there are companies saying my pathway is AI. But AI, what is the point? Enable it for the business. The business area know about it better. So they do and make things happen. And you have any business challenge ahead of you is valid. And we are going to reach the objective. That's the main challenge that I see for the future. Felipe. Vasco has already explained it so well, artificial intelligence, but the creativity is natural from humans. When you build theses, you are going to see it all. And we need to foster and qualify people that the theses that were not possible, now they are possible and doable. That's what we need to bear in mind as a challenge. Showcase people how far we can go, how far AI can go, and we need to change the corporate mindset. Technology is the heart of the transformation, but the mighty works in harmony. So we have this new mindset. Great, Fred. I agree with my colleagues before me. The future of AI will be people, based on people. And beyond the technology per se, we need to change organizational cultures, operational models, mental models as well. It's based on qualification. We learn how to work again with people, learn to work with autonomous agents, and invest on people so to qualify them and extract the best value out of this technology. Great, Braga. I agree with my colleagues here, and I have some reflection elements for this conversation. The first, we have a new concept of digital illiterate. If you do not know how to use AI, I believe you are going to lose space in this context in general. The second point is related to delivering value using the context. If you use AI-based solutions, you are going to have this contextual vision, so it's more intimate, in accordance with my journey, what I need. And a third point from a recent study that heeded my attention, the users in a global survey are concerned what is the transparency of my data use? The more solutions we have for the clients with transparency when using their data, I believe in the end you are going to create a vision that you consider that organization is more responsible, your organization is really concerned about it, and then we have an extra point in clients' loyalty that we are seeking the first choice of clients. If you observe this, you are going to deliver different solutions. The client is concerned about it already. Something is going on with my data, and I would like to know about the processes, if there is an offering, if there is a response, based on what. I believe this is also very important.
And there's also the aspect of the return on investment. The BT Forum study shows that executives are actually looking for the ROI, and that now's the moment, right? And well, we're approaching the end of our panel. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you there on the audience and you, our panelists. Your discussion was great, and also to invite all of you. We have the ACT booth right here to my left, really close to our stage. Please don't forget to go there. We will have a happy hour there, Fred? Sure. We have a happy hour today. There's a lounge on the other floor, and you guys can talk more with the executives. So thank you all. Thank you.